Hello students. So let's study the next chapter, that is the unit 4 here, about India and the soils found in India. So India and soils. So in this chapter we're going to talk about what exactly do you mean by soil and what is the importance of soil. Later on we'll talk about what different kind of soils are found here in India. Okay, so majorly we have 6 type of soils found in India. So about each we're going to discuss in detail. So first of all, let us understand what exactly does this term soil mean. Soil is nothing but the topmost layer of the earth's crust, the topmost layer of the earth, which is made up of fine particles. So the topmost layer of the earth is known as soil. Now what is the importance of soil? Soil is very important, particularly to a country like India, because India is an agricultural rich country. Agricultural rich country or agriculturally rich country, it means that most of our you can say most of the people in India, their main occupation is agriculture. They're either directly involved in agriculture, that is they're either farmers, or they're indirectly involved, which means they work in some industry which is related to agriculture. So directly or indirectly most of the Indians are related to agriculture sector. So that is why we say India is an agriculturally rich country. And for agriculture, you will be aware the basic thing that we require is soil. If the soil is fertile, if the soil is of good quality, if the soil is suiting that particular crop, then that crop is going to grow better. If the crop grows better, ultimately we're going to have a better produce, we're going to have a better economy for the country, right? So that is why that is the most important point here when we talk about soil. That is the most important point we have to remember, that for agriculture we require soil. Okay, so I'll just read out to you. It is a very important natural resource of India because agriculture is the main occupation of people. Agricultural production is basically dependent on the fertility of the soil. As I told you, each crop is going to require a different type of soil. So if that crop gets the required amount of soil, the required amount of minerals, then that crop is going to grow better. Okay. Soil formation in India is related to the parent rock, relief, climate and natural vegetation. So we have a wide range of soils in India because soils, see that I told you there are 6 types of soils. Now you will think soil is one basic thing, that it is same everywhere, but it's not so. Soil is different everywhere. There are different types of soil found everywhere. I'll just give you a basic example. If you compare the soil near the river, near the banks of the river, which is fine and fertile, you compare that with a maybe for desert soil. So see, there's so much difference between them too. Desert soil is basically sand and the soil found on the bank of the river is alluvial soil, right? So each soil is going to be different. Each soil is going to be different. How? Because it's going to have different composition. It is made up of different things and it is formed from different parent rocks. Parent rocks are the whole rock which is going to break down and form the smaller particles which will form soil later on. You don't have to worry much about parent rock and the definition. Just remember here that each soil is different. Now let's talk about the different types of soils in India. Types of soils in India. I told you there are 6 major types of soils in India. They are alluvial soil, mostly found is alluvial soil. Then we have black soil, also known as regur or black cotton soil. Then we have red soil, then laterite soil, later on desert soil, and 6th one is the mountain soil. So these are the different types of soils here found in India. Let's study about each in detail. First, let's talk about alluvial soil. Alluvial. Okay, don't confuse with the spelling. Alluvial. So let's talk about alluvial soil first. What do you mean by alluvial soil? Soil that are composed of alluvium are called alluvial soil. Soil that are composed or made up of alluvium are called alluvial soil. Composed. Soil that are made up of alluvium are called alluvial soil here. Okay, so where are these alluvial soil found? As I gave you an example earlier, alluvial soil are found in the banks of the river. They are found at the banks of the river where the soil is very, very fertile. So near the river you're going to find this alluvial soil. So how are these alluvial soil formed? They are formed because fine sediments are carried by the river water. Fine sediments will be carried by the river water, and these sediments are going to deposit near the bank of the river, and these are going to form the alluvial soil. So major alluvial soil found in India are near the Indo-Gangetic plain. Near Indo-Gangetic plain in the Ganga region, you found most of alluvial soil. So alluvial soil is very important for our country because it's very fertile. First of all, the main point is it's very, very fertile. It is found at the bank of the river and it is very extremely fertile. That's why it is a very important type of soil for India. Also, totally in India, 15 lakh square kilometers of land is covered by alluvial soil. How much? 15 lakh square kilometers. 15 lakh square kilometers of soil is formed by alluvial soil. Kilometers of land is covered by alluvial soil, and this shows us, or this tells us, how important alluvial soil is to India. Now alluvial soil it contributes a lot towards agriculture because most of the crops grow very well on alluvial soil. What are these crops? Okay, I'll give you some example of crops that grow well on alluvial soil. Those are wheat, paddy. Paddy here means rice. Paddy means rice, okay? So wheat, paddy, sugarcane, cotton and jute. These are the different types of crop that grow very well on the alluvial soil. So you have to remember the crops that grow on each soil. Okay, on each soil what different kind of crops are grown there, you have to remember that. Paddy there means rice, sugarcane you know what it is, cotton you know, jute and wheat. These are important crops grown on the alluvial soil. So this was all about alluvial soil. Now let's move forward and learn about the second type of soil here, which is the black soil. Black soil. Black soil is also known as Rager soil or black cotton soil. Why is it called black cotton soil? Because it is best for the growth of cotton. It is best to grow cotton. It is known as Rager soil or black cotton soil. This soil is very best, very beneficial for growing cotton there. That's why it's called Rager or black cotton soil. Okay, it is best for cultivation of cotton. Now how are these black soil formed? They are formed by the weathering of lava rock. Initially in that area lava rocks are there. Now they have been broken down to form this black soil. It is either black or grey in color. Okay, mostly it's black or greyish in color. So what kind of crops can be grown here on this type of soil? On this type of soil you can grow different type of crops such as cotton, sugarcane, jowar. These are basic crops, right, that we require for that is a staple food of India, that is cotton, sugarcane, jowar, maize, pulses. I'll just write few here. Cotton, sugarcane, jowar, pulses. Okay, so these are some of the crops that you can grow on the black cotton soil. Also chilies, wheat and mostly what? Cotton, right? It is called black cotton soil because cotton will grow best on this type of soil here. So these are some of the crops that will grow on black cotton soil. Let's move forward and talk about the different places where black cotton soil is found. It is found in the Deccan region, in the Deccan Plateau region. I told you black soil is formed from lava rocks, right? Parent rock is lava rock. So initially years ago, the Deccan region of India was covered with volcanoes. So because of volcanic activities, lava rocks had been accumulated in the Deccan Plateau region. These lava rocks, they have been broken down because of different weathering processes. It might be because of wind, because of rain. They have broken down into fine soil particles and they have formed they together have you can say they got converted into the black soil. So these lava rocks have got converted into black soil. So where is this black soil found? Just keep in mind in the Deccan Plateau region. So which are the different places that lie in the Deccan Plateau region? Your own state, that is Karnataka, will lie in the Deccan Plateau region. That's why Karnataka has this regur or black soil. Okay, apart from that, Maharashtra, parts of Madhya Pradesh, parts of Telangana, northern parts of Karnataka, parts of Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, these all have black cotton soil. In total, 5.46 lakh square kilometers. 5.46 lakh square kilometer of area is covered with the black soil. So which are the different regions I told you? Karnataka, just remember the easy ones. At least 4 or 5 easy names you remember. Whichever you find more relative, you can remember that. Karnataka, Maharashtra, then what else? Telangana, parts of Telangana, right? Okay, just 3 I've written, remaining are in the textbook, you can go through them. So these are the different places where you can find black soil. So what did we learn about black soil here? We learned that it is called regur as well as black cotton soil. Why is it called black cotton soil? Because cotton will grow best on black soil. It will not grow very well on alluvial or any other type of soil. It will grow best on black soil itself. Okay, some crops we learned here: cotton, sugarcane, jawar, pulses, chilies, wheat. These can be grown easily on black soil. How much area of India is covered with black soil? 5.46 lakh square kilometers of area of India is covered in black soil, right? If you compare that with 15 lakh, it's very little. Maximum is alluvial soil, 15 lakh square kilometers. This is 5.46 lakh square kilometers. Some areas where black soil is found is Karnataka, Maharashtra, Telangana, Madhya Pradesh, all these different regions. Okay, so let's move forward and talk about the next type of soil, which is the red soil. Red soil, okay. So red soil are formed by weathering of granite rocks. Granite and gneiss, these are different type of rocks. You can say they are metamorphic rocks. I hope you've studied in earlier classes about sedimentary, igneous and metamorphic rocks, right? So metamorphic rocks are hard rocks. So when these rocks, particularly granite, when they break down, they are going to form smaller particles, and these will lead to the formation of red soil here. Okay, so also all the different crystalline rocks will lead to the formation of red soil. The color of this soil is red because they have a lot of iron content. It is called red soil because it is red in color. And why is it red in color? Because it has a lot of iron content. Iron, you will say iron is black in color, right? But iron, when it rusts, when the rust of the iron comes, the rust of the iron is dark brownish or red in color, right? So that red color makes the rust of the iron, that red color makes the red soil red. Okay, because of presence of iron. And they are very sandy, like the particles are very rough, they are not clayey. Compare them with alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is very clayey, very fine particles. Red soil does not have fine particles, it has sandy particles, bigger particles. Okay. Also, they do not retain moisture, they will not hold any moisture. If you put water in them, the water will just flow off, they will not hold any moisture. Compared to alluvial and black soil, these two are going to hold moisture. I'll just give you an example. Suppose you take 2 cups here, plastic cups. Okay, you make a hole in the bottom of these 2 cups. Here you fill this cup with say red soil, and you fill the other cup with alluvial soil. Okay, and if you put water here in both the cups, you see the water that you put in the alluvial soil, that is going to remain there, it will not come out from the hole. Whereas the water that you put in the red soil, it is going to come down from this hole, because red soil cannot hold water, the water will just pass out. Whereas alluvial soil or black soil, even black soil, these two are very good in holding water, they have good water holding capacity. The water will not come out from the containers, they will remain inside only. Okay, with this demonstration shows us the water holding capacity of alluvial soil and black soil. Whereas further, whichever soil you learn about red soil, it might be laterite soil, mountain soil, desert soil, these will not hold water. They do not have good water holding capacity. So red soil, one important thing that we learned is that it does not have water holding capacity. Also, how much area is covered with red soil? 5.2 lakh kilometers. Square kilometers, I'm sorry. 5.2 lakh square kilometers. When we talk about area, we mention square, right? So 5.2 lakh square kilometers of area is covered with red soil, which is comparatively less. These soils are spread over different regions, mostly over Tamil Nadu region. Tamil Nadu, also some south parts of Karnataka, also Maharashtra, some parts, not entirely, some parts of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Kerala, Goa, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Assam, Manipura, Nagaland and West Bengal. So in these all regions, wherever you see these crystalline rocks, right? These rocks have led to the formation of red soil. So all these regions you have to mention. Goa, Maharashtra. I'll just write a few. Goa, Maharashtra, Kerala is also there. So these are the different regions which have red soil in them. Red soil is found in these particular, or these are just three of the so many that I've written here, right? So all these regions are going to have red soil. Okay. So what else? Red soil are ideal for what kind of cultivation? What kind of crops can you grow here on red soil? They are ideal for the cultivation of millets, ragi, which do not require a lot of water. Now these things will not require a lot of water. Okay, millets do not require, ragi does not require much water. Groundnuts, tobacco, potatoes. Groundnuts are peanuts, right? Groundnuts, tobacco, potatoes, these are not going to require a lot of water. So you can easily grow these crops. Also, if water is required, through artificial irrigation, you can provide water and grow any of the crops easily here. Also, because this soil is not very fertile, see the soil which has fine particles, this and this, they are very fertile. Compared to these two, this is not very fertile. So if you want to grow any kind of crop in this soil, you can easily provide that with some manure or fertilizer and irrigation, and with that you can grow any kind of crop here in this particular region. Okay, let's move forward and talk about the next soil, which is the laterite soil. Okay, laterite soil. Now, where is the laterite soil found? It is found mostly in the tropical region where you see high temperature and high rainfall. Tropical regions are region which is lying just above the equator. In this region, you find high temperature and high rainfall. Both will be there, right? In summer, there will be very high temperature. In monsoon, there will be very high rainfall. So, in these regions, you will find laterite soil very easily. This soil cover about 2.48 lakh kilometers. Very less. .48 lakh square kilometers of area will be covered in laterite soil. They are mainly found in the Western Ghats, in mountain regions. Mostly I'll tell you in hills. Okay, not exactly mountain. I will not say mountain region, but hilly region. In those regions, you find laterite soil. It might be Eastern Ghats, Western Ghats, Chota Nagpur Plateau, Meghalaya Plateau, the Rajmahal Hill, Vidyas and Satpuras you have learned in the previous lesson. These all are hilly regions, whereas some plateaus are also mentioned here. Meghalaya and Chota Nagpur Plateau are mentioned, that are also at higher altitude, right? So the places at higher altitude, hilly regions are going to have laterite soil. So what kind of crops can be grown here? It is not very fertile. It is very less fertile compared to the other soils. It is like minimum fertile. Okay, so here you cannot grow many crops, but plantation can be done here. What do you mean by plantation? Growing or planting the crops and you do not remove them or harvest them for a long period of time. For example, there is coffee plantation. Once you plant the coffee, it's going to give you fruits for about 15 years. Then again, you have tea plantation. You're not going to remove it every year. Once you plant it, it's going to be there only. Similarly, on this laterite soil, you can do cashew, rubber, tea, coffee, paddy plantations. Paddy is rice. Paddy definitely you have to grow every year. You have to harvest them and grow every year. Whereas cashew, rubber, tea and coffee, every year you're not going to remove them, harvest them. Once you plant them, they're going to remain there for many coming years. So cashew, rubber, tea, coffee. Cashew, rubber, tea, coffee are some of the plants that you can grow here in laterite soil after good irrigation. After providing with good amount of water, you can grow this crop in the laterite soil region after a good amount of irrigation. Okay, so let's move forward and learn about the fifth type of soil here, which is the desert soil. Okay. Now desert soil is mostly found in desert or semi-desert areas, right? It is found mostly in desert or semi-desert areas. Largely found in the northwestern parts of India. In the northwestern we have the deserts, right? We have Thar desert, the Kutch desert. These regions you're going to find the desert soil. So major part of Rajasthan, South Haryana, Punjab and the north parts of Gujarat, they are going to have desert soil. It is not very fertile soil. Also it has some amount of salt content. Salt is present in this. It is not fertile and it has some amount of salt content in this soil here. Okay, it's not good for cultivation of any kind of crop. You cannot grow crops here. What kind of crops, what kind of plants will be growing in the desert area or desert region? Mostly cactus, right? Cactus do not require a lot of nutrients or a lot of water content. Okay, so they can only easily grow here in the desert region. Other crops cannot be grown in the desert region. So how much area? 1.42 lakh square kilometers. Lakh square kilometers of area is covered by desert soil in India. I'm saying in India. Okay, so this was all about the desert soil. Nothing much you have to study here. Just remember in which different places they are found. They are found in obvious things. You know where the desert is found, right? Rajasthan, some parts of Haryana, the north of Gujarat and all these places. Also, it's not very fertile. It does not have humus. It does not have any kind of minerals. And it has a lot of salt content. So it's not very good for cultivation. Let's talk about the last type of soil here, which is the mountain soil. Mountain soil. These soils are found on the slopes of the mountains. Because it is mountain soil, it will be found on mountains, right? Desert soil found in the desert, mountain soil found in the mountains. They are mostly found by the decomposition of organic matter. They are rich in humus and they are very fertile and they can be used for cultivation. Now these mountain soils, here on the mountains, whatever trees, plants will be there, no, they will undergo decomposition. Breaking down of matter is decomposition. They will undergo decomposition and form organic matter, which is very fertile. It will make the soil very fertile. Decomposition of plants and animals is going to make the soil very fertile. So this soil is very good for cultivation. Now what kind of cultivation can you do here in this type of soil? You can grow again plantation, just like laterite soil. You can do plantation here. What kind of plantations? You can grow a different kind of coffee, tea or fruits here in this region. Also apart from that, you can wait, I'll just write to you the amount of soil that is found. That is 2.85 lakh square kilometers of area is covered in mountain soil. The different regions where the mountain soil is found are Jammu Kashmir, J&K, I will write Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Manipur, these are the different regions where you find mountain soil. So which are the different crops you can grow here? I told you plantation can be done here. Plantation of tea, coffee, etc. Okay, so all this plantation can be done here on the mountain soil. So this was all about the mountain soil that you learned. Okay, so these are the different types of soils found in India, the 6 major types of soils found in India. That is the alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, the laterite soil, desert soil, and the mountain soil. These are the different soils found in India. Let's talk about the next very important subtopic here in this lesson, that is soil erosion. Okay, so what do you mean by soil erosion? Soil erosion is simply the removal of the top layer of the soil because of various factors, that is wind, water and air. Because of this, the top layer of the soil will get eroded and that top layer will go away, wash away. That is called soil erosion. Now you should know that the top layer is the most fertile layer of the soil. The most fertile layer in the soil is the top layer of the soil, and that is why when it gets, the top layer only goes away, the soil loses most of its fertility. That's why soil erosion is a very harmful thing that is going on, and we are going to learn the different reasons why soil erosion is taking place. So what are the different causes which have led to soil erosion? Which different things have caused soil erosion? So here mainly 5 causes are given here. One is deforestation. What do you mean by deforestation? Cutting down of the forest is known as deforestation. Cutting down of the forest. Okay. Second reason is overgrazing. So what do you mean by overgrazing? Grazing means when the animals are eating the grass. That is grazing. Overgrazing is when the animals are not having enough grass, so they eat the roots of the grass also. When they're removing the roots of the grass, the soil is becoming loose. When the soil becomes loose, it can easily get eroded. So overgrazing is a cause. Next factor is shifting cultivation. What is shifting cultivation? You grow the crop here for 3-4 years. Next, when the soil loses its fertility, you shift to some other land, and there if there are trees, you cut down all the trees and you do cultivation in that land there. Afterwards, when the soil loses that fertility again, you shift to another land, cut down the trees and do cultivation. This is going to result in cutting down of trees, and this will lead to again soil erosion. Next cause here is faulty methods of agriculture. Agricultural methods sometimes they are not correct. Okay, and because of them soil erosion can majorly take place. So faulty methods of agriculture is a major reason again which is going to cause soil erosion. Last and important thing here is use of topsoil for making bricks and tiles. Top layer of the soil is used to make pots, pottery things while doing pottery. The soil that you use, that is from the top layer. So that is how most of the top layer soil is getting used up. These are the different causes of soil erosion. Let's talk about the different effects of soil erosion. What are the effects here? Soil is very important for us, right? So if the soil is, the top layer is going away, then the soil loses its fertility and agricultural productivity will decrease. If the soil loses its fertility, in agriculture the production is going to decrease. Production in agriculture is going to decrease if the soil loses its fertility. Again, the next cause is that it leads to shifting, it leads to flooding. Okay, now because soil will get eroded, the water in the river is going to get affected. How you know? Because the soil level is getting affected there. Because of that, the water is going to get in the rivers is going to get affected, and that is another important effect of soil erosion. Apart from that, groundwater level is lowered. The water in the groundwater, that will become less. Next point is the vegetation will dry up. Because the soil, top layer of the soil is not there, the soil is not fertile, the vegetation will dry up. Okay, and economy of the whole country is going to get affected a lot because of soil erosion. So these are the different causes or different effects of soil erosion. Let's move forward and learn about the conservation of soil. Now, how can you conserve soil? To protect the top layer of the soil, the following methods can be used, and together they will be called soil conservation methods. They will be called soil conservation methods. First and foremost, most important here is afforestation. What do you mean by afforestation? See, together they have given afforestation and reforestation. What do you mean by them? Afforestation means that you are going to grow a forest in a place where there was no forest at all. Totally from new you are going to make a forest. That is afforestation. Reforestation is if there was a forest already, that forest has been cut down in deforestation, then you are going to do reforestation. Okay, just the opposite of deforestation. Just the opposite of deforestation, right? Reforestation is the opposite of deforestation. Afforestation means completely together you're going to make a new forest itself. That is afforestation. Next point here is by controlling overgrazing. Overgrazing was a cause, right? So you have to control overgrazing, and that can conserve the soil. Next is construction of dams. Okay, dams and all can be constructed, and with the help of those you can easily conserve soil there. So that's why soil conservation will take place. Soil erosion is a very harmful thing taking place in nature. Human factors are mostly responsible for it, and we have learned the different factors how we can stop soil erosion. So these were all the different things that you learned here in this chapter, soil. You learned about the different types of soils, then you learned about soil erosion also. Okay, so with this I end up the 4th unit, that is India and soils found in India. Okay, thank you so much for watching class. Have a nice day.